I need the scoop.
A woman rushes to comfort her best friend in crisis, only to witness a betrayal so brazen it rewrites the entire history of their friendship. We are diving into a Reddit story that left thousands of commenters stunned, asking how someone could be so blind to what was right in front of them. Get ready for a tale of fake friendship, shocking behaviour, and a moment of clarity that changes everything.
I'm a 21-year-old woman, and I used to date this guy named Connor, who was 25. Connor and I met through some mutual friends and dated for around 7 or 8 months. He broke up with me and immediately moved on with one of my best friends, Millie, who was 28. It was hard to watch, and it strained my relationship with Millie for a while. She'd constantly remind me they were dating, and at the time it was hurtful. However, during that time I met my current boyfriend, Matt, who's also 21. After Matt came into my life, the comments stopped meaning anything, and I was able to fully accept things. My feelings for Connor disappeared, and eventually I was able to fully move on and be happy. I mended my relationship with Millie as well. I now live with Matt after about a year together, and while I wasn't able to introduce him to everyone right away, I got around to it a few months ago. The moment I introduced Matt, Millie began making the weirdest comments. Things like, "Ooh, you and I have very similar tastes," and "Be nice to him or I might just have to take this one from you too." It was super uncomfortable for both me and Matt, so I texted her afterward to let her know that the comments weren't appreciated or appropriate. She told our mutual friends about it, and opinions were split. Some said she was wrong, others told me I was overreacting. She eventually apologized, but the jokes continued, just more subtle. It was easy enough to brush them off. Then a few days ago, she called me begging us to come over. Apparently, Connor had dumped her and she was having a complete breakdown in their apartment. We showed up, saw the place was a mess, and told her to shower while we straightened up and ordered dinner. She called for help from the shower, so I went to check on her. And she was in her robe, which was fully open, lying on the floor in a very exposed position. The second she saw me, she closed her robe and stood up like nothing had happened. I didn't know what to think, but as the night went on, it just got to be a lot. She wouldn't get dressed out of her robe and kept almost exposing herself. It got a little late and she suggested I go home. I asked if she was okay with that. She said yes, so I began to pack up with Matt. Then she asked if Matt could stay with her, without me. I told her that if she felt that unsafe alone, she should come home with us. She restated that she just needed Matt there, and I snapped. I called her a desperate little witch and left shortly after with Matt. She was crying when we left, but I didn't care anymore. She kept calling us, but we refused to go back. I should mention that when I confronted Matt about it later, he told me he was completely confused as to why she needed him there specifically. And when she made the request, he told her straight out that he wouldn't stay without me. Yesterday, we found out that she had a full meltdown after we left and didn't show up to work for 5 days. Her sister came to check on her and found the apartment an absolute mess. Millie told them we had left her alone after she begged us to stay. I told our friends my side, and most of them are saying I did the right thing. But her sister and some of our other friends are saying I'm an awful person for leaving her alone when she was clearly in crisis. Honestly, I'm beginning to think I should have just sucked it up and held my tongue. But was I really in the wrong here?
Reddit was overwhelmingly on the original poster's side, with thousands agreeing that what she witnessed was not a cry for help, but a deliberate act of betrayal towards someone she called a friend. Looking back at the warning signs, it is hard not to feel the weight of just how long this had been building beneath the surface. Just one day after sharing her story, the original poster returned with an update that would close the chapter on this friendship for good.
Thank you to everyone who responded. This whole thing has been eye-opening, and I feel so foolish for believing this woman ever truly cared about me. I thought her good qualities could outshine the bad, but it turns out that just wasn't enough. Ironically, I had a bit of a meltdown of my own today. I cried for a few hours after posting and reading through all of your responses. And then I apologized to Matt for keeping her in our lives for as long as I did. He forgave me, and together we called Millie and told her we were done. I dropped off all of her belongings, the things I had in my car and at my apartment, first thing this morning, and I blocked her on every social media platform. I also told my friends the whole story, even through all the embarrassment I felt sharing it. Everyone, except for Millie's sister and her close friends, agreed that she isn't who any of us thought she was. And then, with Matt's full permission and encouragement, I confronted Connor. I asked him directly whether anything had happened between him and Millie while we were together, and he denied it. I don't believe him, but I refuse to dwell on it. I'm moving on with my life. Thank you all so much for your help.
Sometimes the people we defend the hardest are the ones who deserve it the least, and recognizing that truth is its own kind of freedom. If you have ever had to cut someone toxic out of your life, share your experience in the comments below. Subscribe so you never miss stories about trust, betrayal, and the courage it takes to walk away, and explore our other videos for more tales of people finally choosing themselves.